welcome back to the channel. Today's suitor to run is 11ZFGL7T. Plug it in, play along with me. Let me know how you did in the comments below. Today's challenge is Tainted Eden to the Lamb. Tainted Eden is one of the more difficult characters to play with. He starts with random stats, health, and items just like Eden, but the difference is every time he takes damage, all of his stats, items, trinkets, and anything else he's holding will reroll into something different. It's a very dicey character in terms of your playing style. As you saw, I started with mediocre stats and items, and as soon as I took damage, I rerolled into something else. Especially my active item. Sharp Straw is a great AoE at any stage in the game, definitely a hard carry item. We walk into our first treasure room and find Tech 0. This will help cause more indirect damage to our enemies, as the electricity connecting to our shots will deal 33% of what our damage is. First boss is Duke of Flies, and immediately I'm popping Sharp Straw, as this will scale based off our current damage, plus 10% of the enemy's max health. Definitely take advantage whenever you have Sharp Straw, as not a lot of people remember how strong of an active item this can be throughout your run. Down goes the Duke. We pick up Divorce Papers, which gives us a small tears up, and we move on to the next floor. Now, I am guilty of forgetting I have Sharp Straw just because of what goes on in the game. Sometimes you have to dip and dodge enemies, you forget your active item is ready to go. It's just the nature of the game and how your playing style is, so don't feel pressured to have to do everything perfect. Do your best to have fun with it. Now, when it comes to Tainted Eden, it's very difficult to come up with a solid strategy, as the whole run can change if you misstep and take bad damage. The obvious strategy is to not get hit, which is easier said than done and tougher for newer players. Even some advanced players can get cornered by enemies, run into spiked rocks, or forget to creep on the ground. It just happens. So to tackle Tainted Eden, you would need to play almost as perfect and conservative as you can. Try to grab high defensive items like Holy Mantle, Book of Shadows, Blanket, as these will protect you from taking damage and will prevent you from re-rolling everything else. Now, you can, if you have the HP for it, take damage on purpose until you find items you feel can help you win the run. It's an aggressive strategy, but can be very useful depending on your playing style. As you saw, I took bad damage and rerolled into the active item Glass Cannon, which will fire a giant tear that is 10 times my damage plus 10. I find the trinket Sigil of Baphomet, which will give me a shield every time I kill an enemy. It just lasts 1 second, but you can stack this with every kill in the room. Second boss comes around and it's the Widow. Pretty simple boss, just need to take down his add-ons quickly, which benefits us since we have a nice shield every time we kill one. Boss item is Blue Cap, that gives us nice HP and tears up. Look at the Devil Deal. I'm just going to try to pass to go for Angel Deals, as I really want to grab Holy Mantle. Hopefully I don't regret it throughout the run. Glass Cannon is a very situational item, but consider what we have now. I don't mind it since our stats are somewhat average. Speed is at 1.55, tears is 3.62, and damage is at 3.16. Feels like we have Isaac's base stats. Not that great to have going into the third floor, but it's Tainted Eden, so we should expect some type of JoJo Bizarre Adventure going on here. Next boss is the Stand, and I completely missed my giant shot from the rip. It's not a great start based off my stats. I will have to try my best to position myself, as positioning is king in Isaac, especially if your speed is low. I prefer 1.7 and 1.8 to help dodge those projectiles, but we don't have that right now, and I don't want to take bad damage and reroll into something worse. I like the Glass Cannon and shield combo we got going on for ourselves. It's a pretty interesting trinket combination we got. We get our Angel Deal, we hop in there, we grab Holy Grail, which is exactly what we needed. It's going to give us a little bit, it's going to give us that flight that we need for positioning, and then we pick up Mom's Ring, which is going to give us some nice damage along with it. So far, our items is looking pretty decent, but again, playing as Tainted Eden, anything can happen the moment you take bad damage. So not so bad, not so bad. We move on to the next floor. We're in Flooded Caves, and again, I just want to show off my little Glass Cannon combo. We definitely need to prioritize our positioning now that we have flight, since positioning is king. And again, you don't want to run into or be cornered or run into the terrain in the game, so that's something we need to avoid. So really looking forward and happy and glad we got our flight. I go into our shop, grab a little bit more HP. Not so sure how great it will be, but it is what it is. Now, I did remember with Eden, it's more about the quantity over the quality of the items. You want to grab as many items as possible. That's why I went back into the shop to try and grab the ladder, even though I don't need it. The more items you have, the moment you start re-rolling, if you do take damage, you're going to re-roll all of your items. So let's say, for example, you're holding 6 items and you bought a couple more in the shop. As soon as you get hit, you're going to re-roll and get 6 items. You're not going to re-roll what you picked up in just a treasure room. You're going to re-roll everything you picked up, and what it re-rolls is going to be based off what you pick up in its respective room. So for example, if you pick up an item from the Devil Deal, it's going to reroll into an item in the Devil Deal. So Tainted Eden again has its strategies based upon it. Again, you can either play really conservative, which I'm trying to do with my glass cannon and trinket shield combo, or you can play really aggressive and try to take damage on purpose just to reroll into something you like, and then at that point you got to play really defensively, that way you don't lose those items. Next boss comes up and it's Gurdy Jr. I'm not looking forward to fighting Gurdy Jr. as our speed is low at 1.55 and he does have a habit of rushing at you. So I'm trying to eliminate his add-ons, that way I have a little bit of a shield just in case he runs into me. I'm somewhat protected. He drops Binky, which is great, tears up item, and again gives us some more soul hearts. But again, with the HP, I'm not super confident in it, just because if we do get tapped, it's going to reroll. We go into our next floor, and that barking you hear and that howling, I do have Dog's Tooth, which is going to let me know where the secret room is. And if I'm correct, I believe it's on the left of the well, no, should be up top here. Yeah, so Dogtooth is really good. I mean, we end up fighting a greed run, but when it comes to playing as Tainted Eden, you want to try your best to go into all your secret rooms as you get an item like that. I picked up Steam Sale, but if I do reroll, it's going to reroll the secret item, the secret room item, into another secret room item, which could be anything, like sausage, all stats up, which is like the true all stats in the game, and that's something you really want to have and grab. So hopefully if I do get tapped, it can end up like that, or the R key, you may never know. We could pick up Jacob's Ladder, which is also another great item to have. So right now, even though our stats are not looking too great for the stage of the game we're in, it's not too bad, and we're making it work. Now I do get tapped. I just wasn't looking when I was going down. So again, our HP got rerolled and it's not looking too great, but we do pick up some decent items, and we do have Sacred Heart with Hemolacria, which is a great combination. We go into our Angel Deal, and it's the Decision of the Spear of Destiny, or the Mind. I am actually a big fan of the Mind. Having mapping in the game is pretty strong, especially in the Womb and beyond, because you don't need to travel as much. And especially if you're playing as Tainted Eden, in my personal experience, characters like Tainted Eden or Tainted Lost or The Lost, I want to bang those runs out as fast as I can. I don't want to waste my time exploring unless I absolutely need to. So with Tainted Eden, one of my strategies is get the run out the way, try my best to try to bang it out. Now again, my positioning was off, my speed was pretty mediocre, and I was not paying attention to the projectile aiming towards me. Curse of Darkness, to me, in my opinion, is one of the hardest curses for me, just because I just have bad vision in general. So we get tapped again, and we re-roll into our decent tier rate at 5.0, damage at 6.73. Again, our speed is really low at 1.28, so positioning is going to be the trouble. But what I did notice is we picked up our Angel Deal re-rolled into another Angel Deal, which is going to boost our stats the moment we're in it. It's going to lead its way towards the final room. The exit path is the boss, and in this case it's Mom Fight. So it's going to go directly me right to the Mom battle, and it's going to stay itself right in the middle, just like it is now, and it's going to completely boost your stats up, which is phenomenal. We eliminate Mom easily, pick up the negative. I go into the boss rush since I did make the time. Very trash items. Sometimes it makes going to the boss rush not that great, but we made it, so that's still kind of an achievement. Playing with Tainted Eden, at this point a lot of players lose, so it is what it is. So you know, what do we have so far? I mean, stat wise we're looking pretty good. Is it enough for the Womb and beyond? Probably not, but again, we do get tapped. And now looking at my items, our tier rate is at 4.47, but I couldn't find where my shots were going. So what was curious to me is, like, I was trying to find it, and then there it was like a little ball bouncing around. So I got myself my own little basketball, which I thought was pretty funny and a little bizarre in its own way. So I'm trying my best to utilize it, but again, like, I feel like I need to take damage here. So again, it goes to my strategy of how do you want to play Tainted Eden? Do you want to take damage on purpose? Do you want to play really defensively and just work your way up to something good based off the Angel Deals and Devil Deals you get, and just try to play it as a normal run and not get hit? In this case, I saw that my items were really bad, and I didn't think I could make it farther than that. Now, I did take a risk because I do have Curse of the Unknown, which is going to block out my HP, so I'm not really 100% sure what HP I have, so it was a huge risk for me to get tapped on purpose. And I ended up re-rolling to Isaac's Heart, which I'm not a fan of, but in combination of having Flight and another combination of having Holy Mantle, I thought that this could be the best way I can win the run. If I can just use Isaac's body as a meat shield to block all projectiles or to push enemies away, I can do my best to protect Isaac's Heart, and it has Holy Mantle, so I'm guaranteed at least one hit if I do take a hit, and I just need to protect Isaac's Heart. And with Flight, I can hide over rocks or the terrain, and nothing's gonna touch Isaac's Heart. So that's the strategy I was using on that part. We move on to the next floor, and we're fighting these little guys. I love these little guys. They're easy to take out. But again, I love our defensive combination. We wanted something defensively, and we got it. Now it's just a matter of how well we can play in our positioning and how well we can defend our Isaac's Heart. Now our speed is a huge concern at 1.12. Our tier rate is 3.37. Damage is 6.86. Not that great, again, leading into the Womb and Beyond. But as you see, I'm using Isaac's body as a meat shield and blocking as best as I could, but I did end up getting tapped. Only positive side of this is our stats are not that bad, and the only reason for that was because of our trinket, the Dim Bulb, which is going to increase our stats as long as our active item is empty and that has no charges in it. As you see, our stats immediately went down as soon as we got one charge on our Bible. So without that, our tier rate is still pretty decent at 6.0, damage at 4.64, and speed at 1.39. The only benefit there is our tier rate, but I ended up getting tapped anyway. I was looking at HP. I want to feel comfortable going to the cathedral with at least anything, whether it's soul hearts or red hearts or skull or bone hearts, any combination to get us to 6. I feel like I can survive with that. Now our tier rate dropped to 5.43, which is still really good. Damage at 4.3 and our speed at 1.45. Not that great. And just looking at our items, nothing really surprises me or makes me think that, yeah, this is a one run. So at this point, I'm really nervous, and I really have to depend on my positioning and my playing style. Thankfully, when it comes to It Lives, you just really need to position yourself in one spot and dodge the projectiles, and make sure that you just dodge everything coming at you. We pop It Lives, we get our Angel Deal, and we have Earner of Souls, which I'm not a huge fan of, and Immaculate Heart. I take Immaculate Heart again if I do happen to get tapped. I want my Angel Deal items just to reroll into better Angel Deal items, and I'm hoping for that. We work our way down. Again, we have to go to the Lamb, so that is our challenge, Tainted Eater to the Lamb. So thankfully I picked up the negative and I remembered to go down there. We get tapped again and we reroll, and our stats are looking a little bit worse. The only benefit out of this one was our damage increased to 8.54. We don't have any great item at all, so I'm kind of disappointed in that. I decide to change my trinket, as Crow's Heart is going to deplete my red hearts before my soul black hearts. I'm not a fan of that at all. I want to make sure I have enough red hearts. Again, without Polaroid Invincibility, it just doesn't make sense for me to deplete any of my HP. I need everything I can. I get tapped again, and I'm pretty disappointed in that. Now my tier rate is at 1.85, damage at 9.21. Again, my stats is really nothing impressive. I do have Quad Shot and Mama Mega. My plan was to use Mama Mega if I could maintain it down in the red room, so hopefully I can maintain that. So I drop my little bomb, do my little trick to try to eliminate the boss, but I do get tapped again, and my stats are looking decent. I like the boomerang combination with the sword. I think we could make some quick work with that. I do have Holy Mantle, so I need to try to preserve this. This should be the items you need to win a run, but I already lost my Holy Mantle, so I was pretty disappointed. Positioning was off. I got tapped again, then I got tapped again, and it wasn't looking that great. Thankfully, we re-rolled into an amazing angel deal item, and it was Godhead. Again, when I'm telling you, when you pick up these items and you re-roll, there is a strategy behind it. I just got extremely fortunate and extremely lucky. We go into our red room, we pop these 4 red chests, and they're all completely trash. And especially, we only have 2 red hearts. So again, at this point, without the wafer, every damage you take, anything that hits you, whether you run into a spiked rock, you run into creep, anything, any unwanted damage, you are going to lose a whole red heart. So I only have 1 try at this. I made it this far. I don't have any mapping. I have to explore the entire floor up until I get to the boss. So pretty disappointing. Just a quick stat check. My speed is at 1.27, really bad. Tier rate's at 3.39, basic and average. And my damage at 6.15. The only thing that we have going for us is Godhead, which is extremely powerful, and hopefully one day I can showcase that. So I'm really fortunate with that. So on the terms of survivability, we have nothing like Satanic Bible, nothing like Book of Revelation. So we have nothing to regain our HP, which is not that great. When it comes to tier rate, we do pick up number 1, so our tier rate jumped to 5, which is really good. And our damage at 6.15. But again, with Godheads, we're gonna get that homie shot with it, and it's incredible. So I'm feeling pretty confident. Not in terms of our HP, but in terms of how much damage we can get out there just based off our DPS. The only risk, again, going on whether you're in the chest or you're down in the red rooms, or it's the point of exploring. You don't want to explore at this point. You want to go straight to the boss, and I'm hoping we're on the right path. We want to go straight to the boss. We want to eliminate him as fast as we could, and we end up going the right way for once. And then here we go, you know, we're gonna verse the lamb. I'm gonna just try to spray him as much as I could, and as you see, he's below 50%. His body split up, and we ended up, you know, looking like we're gonna get the dub. So please like the video, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate everybody watching these. Am I going to go for a victory lap? Maybe not. Maybe I'll add that to the challenges one day, but I appreciate everybody watching. Thank you guys.